Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $5,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 63-year-old female. Now, first thing I suggest is go directly to our website, and on just about every page, we have these free quoters. And what you do is just select the state that you live in, and we're licensed in all 50 states. Select the coverage amount, put your birthday in there, the rest of the info, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies that offer the lowest pricing. And what that will do is that will allow you to be an educated shopper so you won't fall prey to some of the tricks that happen out there, like, those companies that offer really low teaser rates. They advertise those on TVs and magazines and, junk mail. And then when you call up, that teaser rate buys so little coverage that it won't cover your needs, and they upsell you to more profitable coverage for them. It'll also help you avoid those plans that have 2-year waiting periods that if you die of any health or medical reason in the first 2 years, it won't pay a penny if you die from a health or medical reason. So, and those policies are 200% more expensive in some cases. So you can also call us at 888-862-9456. And one of our licensed agents can help you out as well. Now, the first thing a female age 63 really should consider when looking for $5,000 worth of insurance is that going to be enough insurance for her needs, for her final expense needs? And that could be typically either cremation or burial. Now, let's talk about that, because the average cremation right now is costing between $1,000 to $2,000. That's where you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn. Now, if you're going to have a cremation in some sort of ceremony, maybe a celebration of life or remembrance ceremony, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500. So what we would actually recommend for the cremation that you're just coming home in a cardboard box or an urn is maybe $5,000 to $7,000. That's what most people get. And you might be asking yourself, well, Randy, if it's going to cost $2,000, why are we looking at $5,000? Well, the reason is you're age 63. And I'm guessing you're wanting to, hoping you can get to maybe 73, maybe even 83. And we know that things get more expensive as time goes on due to inflation. So what we recommend is getting a little more insurance than you need right now. And that just inflation proofs your plan for the future so that you never have to buy more insurance. And then also, if you were to die sooner than you expected, there's going to be a little bit money left over, to maybe take care of some other final expenses, medical bills, things like that. So it really works great. It inflation proofs your plan, but it provides a little bit more money up front just in case you weren't able to pay something off. Now, for the cremation with a ceremony, we would typically recommend and help people with anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000. Again, the $10,000 inflation proofs the plan, and then if something were to happen to you sooner, there's a little bit extra money there to take care of some other final expenses. Now, if you're going to be buried, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. So it's hard to imagine in most parts of the country, if you walk up to a funeral home with a $10,000 check, that they wouldn't take that check and make it happen. I mean, are they going to say no and let that check walk out the door to one of their competitors 2 blocks down? Probably not. But understand, at $10,000, it's not going to be a fancy funeral. It's going to be kind of a simple affair. So, most females age 63, would probably be looking at getting 10 to 15,000, maybe 20,000. So 5,000 probably is an optimum. That's what we're talking about on this video is 5,000. But, if you already had a policy for maybe 5,000 or 7,000 or 10,000, and, that was enough when you originally got that policy, but, prices have gone up, then adding another $5,000 to that would absolutely make sense. So we can actually help you out with that too. Now, one thing we don't recommend is overinsuring. And it seems like every once in a while we'll get somebody that says, hey, I want to get $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 because I want to leave some money behind for my kids. And then once they hear the price of $50,000, they're like, oh, no, I'm not going to do anything at all. Not understanding that now they've just sentenced their kids to pay for their final expense bills. God knows when that's going to be, but it's going to be tens of thousands of dollars, and they're probably going to have to put it on their credit card. So don't be so ornery that say that, hey, if I can't get everything I want, I'm not going to do anything. That just puts your family at risk. So, most people, to get that much coverage, they probably should have gotten it earlier in life. So, yeah, what we really recommend is just get what you need for your final expenses, even if it's that 10 or 15,000, and just settle into that for a year or so. And then if you want to add more coverage later, you can do that through a separate policy for your kids and just name them the beneficiaries on it. A lot of times that would work better and just kind of ease into this coverage a little bit, just to make sure everything fits your budget. Now, one thing we always recommend is first day coverage or benefits. And we do not recommend those 2-year waiting period plans at all. And I'll go over that in just a moment. But we do recommend the first day coverage or benefits. And what that means is, hypothetically, if your policy were approved and issued today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to pay out the $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, whatever it is, however much your policy was worth. That's exactly what you want to do. That's the best coverage. It's going to get you the best pricing. But some people would say, well, Randy, I like that first day coverage, but I hear they ask health questions and I'm not in the best of health. To which we would say, well, your health is our problem, not your problem, at least when it comes to this insurance. And what we mean by that is we work with a whole bunch of different insurance companies, and they all have different questions on the application, and they all have different underwriting. And right now, we're getting about 90 to 95% of the people that we help approve for first day coverage or benefits. So we're terrific at what we do. Now, really, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage is if you had some really significant health issues going on. Like, maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis, or you're in a hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we'd probably refer you out to a different insurance company. And then what seems to happen every week, it seems, we'll get somebody that will call up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have insurance and we don't have any money. And now their body's down at the funeral home and the funeral director's not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quickly so that we can get the funeral home paid and get this thing all completed and done. And we have to let them know that there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to offer a policy to a dead person. That's not how it works. You got to be alive to qualify for this insurance. And it's so unfortunate and tragic that the person who passed away did not have this insurance. And it's their fault. They knew they were going to die. They knew they didn't have this taken care of. They'd probably thought about it. And they just kept putting it off and delaying it. And then they went and died. And, the rest is history. But the sad part is most families don't have this money, and they end up having to put these burials and cremations on credit cards, and now they're paying 26% interest, and many families are having to pay these off years and years and years from now. So don't do that. That's a terrible legacy to leave behind. You could have done everything right in your whole life, and your final memories for everybody's going to be you throwing these bills on them and them having to pay on them for years. So don't do that. It's very affordable. If you need to start with a smaller amount of coverage, we can always help you add more coverage later. Now, let's talk about 2-year waiting period plans. We don't recommend those at all. Colonial Penn's one of the companies out there that offers 2-year waiting periods. Their $9.95 plan, you may not have noticed this, but their $9.95 plan is actually a 2-year waiting period plan. Yeah, and most people don't know that, and they're kind of surprised to hear that. So there's other companies out there, too, that have 2-year waiting period plans. Let's see, Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber, and there's a whole bunch of other companies out there. And a lot of these companies have done a really great job of convincing the American public that if you are over age 50, the only thing you qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period. To which we always say, don't fall for such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, our 63-year-old female is probably watching a $9.95 Colonial Penn commercial and probably feeling pretty good about herself, because that commercial sounds so good. It sounds so easy. And she's probably thinking, you know what? I can probably get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Maybe even $50,000 for $9.95. And then Then she checks with the Colonial Penn agent or gets on their website like we've done for you and sees that a female age 63, 1 unit of coverage, which is $9.95, is only going to pay out $1,370. $1,370. That might pay for a cremation in most parts of the country, but you got to keep in mind this policy has a 2-year waiting period, and it's not going to pay out for any health or medical related cause of death in the next 2 years. So, in 2 years, there's going to be inflation, and, there's probably getting to be a marginal amount of coverage at that point. So, that $9.95 doesn't do you any good. Now, some people would say that these companies that offer these teaser rates, they tease you to, just to get your info, and then they call you up. And some would say that they don't offer these teaser rates to actually sell those plans. They actually offer those plans just to get people interested, to get their information. And once they get in to their business model, then they actually find out how little coverage it is. And then now the insurance company starts to upsell them to a more profitable product for them. Now, we would never say that Colonial Penn would ever do anything like that. I guess some people may have their opinions on it, but you may have to formulate your own opinion on that based off, whether $9.95 and $1,370 would be appropriate for your burial or cremation. So anyway, let's do this. Let's go take a look at number one. We want to get $5,000. So I'm going to guess it's about 4 units. Yeah, that's as close as we're going to get. With their per unit pricing, you always end up with these kind of wackadoodle numbers, $54.80. If we go 3 units, it's going to be too low. Yeah, it's pretty close to 4,000. So that's the frustrating part a lot of people say. So yeah, 5,000. It's a little more than 5,000, and that's going to be $40. Let's go see what first aid coverage would be. See if we can save you any money. Here we go. 5,000 for a female, age 63, right here. Get quote. We're going to get that. Again, this is around $40 for around 5,000. Yeah, look at this pricing, $19-20. So pretty much in this case, Colonial Penn is almost 200% more expensive than a first aid coverage. And that's what this level means. Level means first aid coverage. And these are within, I think, 50 cents of each other. If we'd have a specific recommendation on which one's best based off, which one's easier to get approved, which one can you get an answer, an approval answer on the phone right away, stuff like that. Between these two, we would typically definitely lead towards this one. Just great follow-up service and everything else with this company, top-notch company. But we could walk you through all the companies. But level coverage. So, yeah, just consider, with the Colonial Penn, you're going to overpay roughly $20 a month as a 63-year-old female for the rest of your life, and you're going to get stuck with a 2-year waiting period as well. But $20 a month times 12 months is $240. And if our 63-year-old female lived to age 73, that would be that you will have overpaid $2,400 roughly after just 10 years into this plan. So you'd overpay roughly $2,400 on a $5,000 plan. So that's not even not even including the cost of insurance. So yeah, you need to be a smart shopper. And if you're not a smart shopper, let us know. We can help you be a smart shopper. Let's look at a couple other companies. You'll be able to see all these different ones. Maybe we'll just find one here. Okay, so yeah, like Lincoln Heritage here. Fine company, I guess. But I mean, look at that pricing. Boy, it's quite a bit more. 28. It is level coverage, but yeah, it's more. It's $28. So Lincoln Heritage has a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2-3 different funeral homes to get the lowest pricing, maybe do a couple other things, but you pay for that service. It's not provided for free, because remember, that's $28 versus, so it's $8 more a month. $8 more a month times 12 months is $96 a year. After 10 years, you will have overpaid $960. So roughly $1,000. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth paying a company $1,000 roughly to call 2 or 3 funeral homes and maybe do a couple other things that's maybe only going to take an hour or so. I think most people wouldn't want to pay an insurance company about $1,000 an hour, roughly. So we don't recommend that. We actually recommend going with a lower price insurance company. And then what we do is we provide a free funeral and estate planning guide. You can just download that off our website, print it out, and then complete it. You just fill out, who gets what goes where, and what you want to happen after you're gone. And once that's filled out, you just keep it with your insurance policy. And then that way, when you pass away, your family members have to just go to that one place and they'll get both documents. And one document will protect them financially. That's the insurance policy. And the other document will protect them emotionally. That's the funeral and estate planning guide. And all they'll have to do is just execute your wishes. And they'll have that peace of mind knowing that they're doing everything exactly how you wanted it done. And what a wonderful gift to leave behind. What a wonderful legacy to leave, that, they would know that you not only protected them in life, but you actually protected them in your death. And you took care of this well in advance, just simply because you loved them. And what a wonderful legacy to leave behind. So go to our website, funeralfunds.com. We've actually got a special quarter for our YouTube viewers, funeralfunds.com/YouTube, where you can get the most rates, the most discounts and the best rates. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you out there, help you understand what you qualify for and what your rates will be, answer any other questions. But if you've got an existing policy and you want to price shop it to make sure you got the best deal, we can help you out there. If you want to add coverage to that policy, we can help you out there too. Also, if you want a brand new policy or just have some questions that you want answered, we can help you out with that as well. But we look forward to getting you the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. Until that day comes when we are blessed to help you out with this, you take care, you stay safe, and you have a nice day. Bye-bye.